Alright, here we go. Let's break this down. Ever been in a conversation where it felt like you were banging your head against a brick wall? You were trying to explain something, but the other person wasn't getting it. It's frustrating as hell, right? But that's because you're operating with two different sets of rules, two different frames, and guess what? One of you isn't even aware of it. You're trying to use logic, but they're stuck in their own metaphor, their own reality. It's like trying to speak French when they only understand Spanish. Same idea, but totally different framework. The trick to communication, you have to change the frame. You have to change the metaphor, and boom, suddenly it clicks. They get it. They're with you. And even better, you get them. The real magic happens when you change the frame. Imagine you're talking to someone about a stressful situation at work, and you're using metaphors like, it's like juggling too many balls in the air, and they're looking at you like a deer in headlights. That's because they don't know what it feels like to juggle. Now if you switch your metaphor and say, it's like trying to keep all the plates spinning on sticks, suddenly they get it. You've moved from one image, juggling, into another that fits into their own set of experiences and beliefs. This is what NLP is all about. It's about changing the frame of the conversation to align with the other person's reality. It's about chunking down and chunking up, focusing on the small details, then zooming out for the big picture. Here's how you do it. Chunking down, focusing on the details. Let's talk about a situation where someone's stressed about a big presentation. They feel the pressure and overwhelm. But if you stay at the high level, if you just say, don't worry, it'll be fine, they won't buy it. They're still stuck in the details, so chunk down. Get into the specifics. Okay, tell me about the presentation. What exactly are you worried about? I don't know. The slides look weird. Alright, what's weird about the slides? I don't know. They don't look professional. Okay, what makes a slide look professional to you? Boom, you've just chunked down. You've gone from the overwhelming feeling to the specific problem. Slides that don't look professional. You've made it something manageable. Chunk up the bigger picture. Now after you've gotten to the heart of the issue, you can chunk up. Once they realise it's just the slides that are making them feel anxious, you can zoom out. You know, in the grand scheme of things, this presentation is just one moment in your career. You've probably had 100 moments like this already, and you've nailed them. This one's no different. By chunking up, you're showing them the bigger picture, making the issue feel smaller, less significant. Value elicitation. Find out what they truly care about. If you're talking to someone who's stuck, you can elicit their values. What do they care about? What drives them? You can ask questions like, what's the most important part of this presentation for you? Why does that matter to you? How would it feel if you got that right? By doing this, you're finding out what's emotionally significant to them. And once you know that, you can lead them. You can pace their state and take them where you want them to go. You have their beliefs, their values. And now you can guide them through the process of changing their perspective. This is where rapport really kicks in. Create change through confusion. Here's the real kicker. The brain loves confusion. Why? Because confusion creates an open door for change. That's the science behind NLP and Ericksonian hypnosis. Let me explain. Imagine you've been stuck in the same problem for years. You're caught in a loop of beliefs, habits and behaviours, and then someone comes along and messes with that loop. They confuse you just enough to break you out of your default way of thinking. Suddenly, your brain is forced to update and to upgrade. It's like rebooting a computer. Without confusion, there's no transformation. And if you don't create this shift, they stay stuck forever, believing their way of thinking is the only option. But when you confuse the hell out of them in a productive way, they're open to new ideas. They'll start to see things differently. The fear and the karma. Let's talk about your fear of doing this. You're scared of people's reactions, right? You're afraid of them thinking you're manipulating them or making them uncomfortable. But here's the thing. That fear is a bunch of bullshit. People get stuck because they don't know any better. They're going to keep doing the same thing unless someone shakes them out of it. You're not being manipulative, you're being helpful. But I get it. The fear of judgment is real. But think about it. What's the alternative? You let people stay stuck in their own misery because you're too afraid to change the framework. Is that really what you want? Hell no. People need your help. Don't be afraid to change the metaphor, to shift their reality. It's your responsibility to guide them to the next level. So why this shifts your life and creates massive impact? Picture this. You start applying these techniques every day in every conversation. You become the person who doesn't get stuck. You're the one who can speak to anyone, anywhere, and have them understand you. You'll start seeing the world differently. You look at problems and instantly think, okay, how do I change the frame? How do I chunk this down or up? Your relationships will improve. Your influence will grow. You'll start getting more of what you want because you've learned how to communicate like a master. And the beauty, you'll stop getting frustrated with people. You'll start seeing them for who they are and meet them where they are, rather than trying to drag them into your reality. That's the key to connection, and when you get this, you become a fucking genius at influencing. Why does this work? The science is simple. Humans are pattern-seeking creatures. When you change their patterns, you unlock new neural pathways. You give them a new way to think, and in doing so, you transform their reality. It's like rewiring the brain. You show them a new possibility, and the brain loves that. It craves new experiences, new ways of thinking. No more bullshit, just results. So you've got a choice. You can keep trying to force your way through conversations, banging your head against the wall. Or you can learn to frame shift, chunk down, chunk up, and find out what really matters to people. When you do that, you stop wasting energy, and instead you start making real, meaningful connections. And here's the kicker. If you don't learn to do this, you're always going to keep spinning your wheels, stuck in patterns that don't serve you. It's as simple as that. But if you embrace this, if you start changing the frame in every conversation, your whole world shifts. So stop playing small. Stop letting the fear of people's reactions hold you back. And start mastering this shit. Change the frame, shift the metaphor, and start making your life and everyone else's so much better.